The German Chancellor said it remains our objective to see the UK leaving with a deal, and seemingly suggested Brussels should do everything possible to avoid a no-deal scenario. Mrs. Merkel said, achieving an orderly exit together, and I particularly want to repeat this today, remains in our mutual interest. The Chancellor also praised the unity the EU 27 have shown during the past 2.5 years of negotiations with the UK, possibly hinting at the fact that both London and Brussels must continue to work together to avoid a no-deal scenario, Mrs. Merkel said, and because we 27 are working for each other and with each other, it is also important to reach a sensible result, but we can't make it happen on our own, rather we are dependent on finding common solutions. Read more. Brexit to vote live May. Vows no deal remains default despite MPs voting against crashing outAngela Merkel may have set herself on a collision course with Emmanuel Macron over Brexit. Image Getty, speaking just hours before tonight's vote on a no-deal Brexit in the Commons. Mrs. Merkel also said it was up to Britain to clearly express how the UK wants to proceed on Brexit. German Chancellor's statement came as she was expressing her regret for seeing the British Parliament defeating yesterday for a second time the withdrawal agreement struck by Theresa May and Brussels in November. She added, that remains our objective. However, Mrs. Merkel's sympathy towards the UK may enrage her European allies, including French President Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron said the withdrawal agreement is non-negotiable. Image Getty. The French leader said shortly after Mrs. Merkel's statement the Brexit deal is not negotiable. He said, the withdrawal deal is not negotiable. We cannot renegotiate an accord that we negotiated over several months and which we have said is not renegotiable. Brexit talks over the agreement were reopened between Brussels and the Prime Minister on Monday after MPs voted down Mrs. May's deal on January 15 over concerns the Irish backstop would indefinitely retain the UK within the bloc. Angela Merkel said it was up to Britain to clearly express how the UK wants to proceed on Brexit. Image PA. Mrs. May obtained some last-minute changes on the backstop, but she didn't satisfy the MP's request to include a clearly legally binding time-limited mechanism in her deal. On Tuesday, her deal was rejected again, which triggered tonight's vote, where MPs were given a chance to vote on a government motion and 2 amendments on a no-deal scenario. MPs voted to reject a no-deal Brexit by 321 votes to 278, with a majority of 43 votes, meaning many cabinet ministers and Tory MPs defied the party's whips. Tonight's vote has forced the Prime Minister to allow another vote tomorrow on a motion on whether to seek an extension of Article 50 or not.